and last phylum, that is the phylum Chordata. And these phylum Chordata have the some specific character in which they are considered as a three most important character. And what is the most important character you can see? First is the presence of dorsal tubular nerve cord. This is the most important characteristics of the chordata. Presence of the dorsal tubular nerve cord. Second is presence of the solid dorsal notochord. And third is the presence of the paired pharyngeal gill slits. So these are the very important and characteristic feature of the chordata. And they have some also some features which is less not you can say less important, but they are also included. Okay, they possess a post anal tail. They possess the post anal tail and closed circulatory system. So it means post anal tail means at the anus region they have the tail, and here they have the closed circulatory system. You already seen in case of the non-chordata. So only annelids as well as cephalopods, mollusk, phylum Mollusca, class Cephalopoda, both have the closed circulatory system, and every non-chordates they have the open circulatory system. Clear? So these have the description about the chordata. So now we will discuss, we will talk about the next, about the difference between non-chordata and chordates. So here they have given the 5 differences. If we read, so in case of the non-chordata, vertebral column is absent. In case of the non-chordata, vertebral column absent. This is why are saying non-chordata, because they have no notochord, and I am saying chordata, they have the notochord. Clear? So in chordata, vertebral column is present. What is the vertebral column? During the embryonic development, this is vertebral column is nothing, only the notochord. During the embryonic development, these notochord have, but when it will converted into the adult, so these vertebral column and these notochord is replaced by the vertebral column. Okay. Next, I had already told they have the central nervous system is solid and ventral. In case of the non-chordates, solid, but in case of the chordates, hollow. Ventral, in case of the chordates, dorsal. Clear? It means you can say non-chordates, they have the central nervous system which is the solid and ventral, and in case of the chordates, it is the hollow and dorsal type. Next, if you read, so what they have given, if heart is present, in case of the non-chordate, suppose that they have the heart, so heart is the dorsal side. We have also heart, but our heart is the ventral side. It means chordata have the heart, and heart always located towards the ventral side. Next is the hemoglobin. What is the hemoglobin? Hemoglobin is the red pigment. Hemoglobin is the red pigment which is the carrier of oxygen molecule, inside the blood. So here you know very well. So blood is the fluid connective tissue which is have the two components, blood plasma and blood cells. So blood plasma 60% and 40% blood cells. Clear? So these blood plasma have the some dissolved gases and other component. Okay, and blood cells is also 3 different type: RBC, WBC, and platelets. RBC also known as the erythrocyte, WBC also known as leukocytes, and platelets also known as the thrombocytes. So I am describing because here they have given the plasma. So plasma in case of the non-chordates, these hemoglobin found in the plasma. But in case of the chordates, where hemoglobin found? Hemoglobin present in the RBC, red blood calf cells. RBC, that is erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are the hemoglobin pigment. Clear? So hemoglobin iron containing pigment. Okay. And we already discussed in the phylum Mollusca, they have one pigment which is known as the hemocyanin copper containing pigment. Due to this, mollusk have the blue color blood. Okay. Next is the anus. Anus is the posterior, so no post anal tail. In case of the non-chordata, they have also anus posterior and no post anal tail. But in our body, we have the post anal tail. Chordata have the post anal tail. Protozoa, arthropoda, and annelida are example of non-chordates. Here, fishes, birds, reptiles, and mammals. So these are considered as a example of the chordata. Clear? So if you see, so these phylum chordata, they have the 3 subphylum. These phylum chordata, they have the 3 subphylum. So first subphylum is the If we'll read, so first subphylum is the Urochordata. Urochordata also called tunicates. Why we call tunicates? Because they have the outer covering which is made up of the tunicine, and tunicine is the polysaccharide. Tunicine is the carbohydrate or polysaccharide. Next subphylum Cephalochordata, and next the third one is the vertebrata. Clear? So we will discuss later about the vertebrata. I am going to discuss about the two phylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata. Why we called Urochordata and Cephalochordata collectively referred as Urochordata and Cephalochordata collectively referred as a Protochordata. I had already told in the last video we have discussed about the phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordata previously placed in the together with the Protochordata, but now they have placed in the separate phylum as a Hemichordata. So these Urochordata and Cephalochordata both are collectively referred as a Protochordata, and these are also, this is the exclusively marine. Exclusive marine means no one animal present in the fresh water, everyone living in the marine water. Okay, and this is also known as the Acraniata. Acraniata means no brain box, no brain box found. This is also known as the Acraniata. So why we called Urochordata? Why we called Urochordata? Because they have the notochord. They have the notochord, and notochord present only at their larval stage and in the tail region. In the tail region, larval stage, they have the notochord. And in case of the, why we are saying Cephalochordata, so they have the notochord which extend from the head to tail region and persist throughout the life. In case of the Cephalochordata, it extends from the head to tail region. It extends from the head to tail region and persistent throughout the life. So this is called the Cephalochordata. And one more characteristic feature of the Urochordata, they show the retrogressive metamorphosis. What is the retrogressive metamorphosis? During the larval stage. During the larval stage, so these larvae have the notochord. But these larvae when metamorphized, after that these larvae lost their notochord. It means during the metamorphosis, normal larvae they show the advanced character, but here during the metamorphosis they lost their advanced character. So this phenomenon is known as the retrogressive metamorphosis. Clear? If we'll see the example of Urochordata, they have the Acidia, Salpa, Doliolum, and Hardmania. So these are example of the Urochordata. Example of the Cephalochordata, Branchiostoma, that is Amphioxus or Lancet. This is also known as the Amphioxus or Lancet. And one more also interesting feature of the Cephalochordata, that is called neoteny. Cephalochordata, that is called the neoteny. Neoteny means if the metamorphosis, after the metamorphosis, adult have some larval character. After the metamorphosis, if the adult have the some larval character, this phenomenon is known as the neoteny. Neoteny also known as the pedogenesis. Neoteny also considered as a pedogenesis. So next you can see here the members of subphylum. The members of subphylum vertebra. So the members of subphylum vertebrata. We are going to discuss subphylum. Third subphylum is the vertebrata. Why I am saying vertebrata here? They again. They possess notochord only embryonic stage. Only embryonic stage they possess the notochord. But these notochord replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Vertebral bony column, that means backbone. Okay, so this is the characteristics of the vertebrate. Okay, and all vertebrates are chordate, but all chordates are not vertebrate. All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Why? Because chordates also included. They also included the Protochordata, and some Protochordata subphylum Urochordata, they don't have the notochord. Clear? So due to this, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrate considered. Besides the basic chordate character, vertebrate have the ventral muscular heart. Ventral muscular heart found. You know very well, we have also heart. In case of the fishes, they have the two-chambered heart. In case of the amphibians and reptiles, except the crocodiles, they have the three-chambered heart. In case of the birds and mammals, they have the four-chambered heart. Here, kidney for excretion. We have the kidney for excretion. and osmoregulation. And the paired appendages may be present in the form of limbs or fins. Fins found in the fishes. Fins were found. It is found in the fishes. And limbs found in the tetrapods. Means here amphibians, reptiles, they have the limbs. What they have the limbs. Clear? So this is the basic difference. Now you can see I took one photo from the NCERT pic and you NCERT book, and you can easily understand. So vertebrate considered as a subphylum. I had already told this is the third subphylum. Now vertebrate have the how many division? Vertebrate divided into two division. First is the agnatha and second division is the agnathostomata. Agnatha, A means absent, agnatha means jaw. So here they have given legs, jaw. So jaw is absent. Okay. And they have the one class which is known as the cyclostomata. Cyclo means cyclic, stomata means mouth. So circular mouth. Okay. Second division, that is the gnathostomata, means beard jaw. They have the beard's jaw. And these are further classified into two superclass. One class is known as the Pisces. One class is known as the Pisces. Pisces, the study of fishes is known as the ichthyology. The culture of fishes is known as the pisciculture. And these Pisces they bear the fins. And here they have the two different class. One is called the chondrichthyes, another is the osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes also known as the cartilaginous fishes, and osteichthyes also known as the bony fishes. Now next superclass tetrapoda. Tetrapoda means they bear the limb. They bear the limbs, and here they have the four different class. They have the four different class. How you learn? Aram means amphibians, reptiles, aves, and mammals. Clear? So these have given the division. So if you check vertebrata how divided, so these have given, and this is the good diagram. Okay, good flow chart. Now you can see here next diagram. So this is explaining three to four important characteristic feature of the chordata. Presence of solid dorsal notochord, presence of the dorsal tubular nerve cord, and post-anal tail present, and presence of paired pharyngeal gill slits. Presence of the paired pharyngeal gill slits. So these are the chordates. These are considered as a chordates character. Now I am going to discuss about the subphyla. Subphyla means subphyla third subphyla vertebrata, and division first. Division first is known as the agnatha. Division first is known as the agnatha. So I had already told what means of the agnatha. A means absent, agnatha means jaw. So there is such type of animals, there is no jaw. Okay. And they have the one class cyclostomata. Cyclostomata means they have the cyclic. Their mouth is the cyclic. Okay, means circular mouth. All living members of the class cyclostomata are ectoparasite on some species. What means of the ectoparasite means those animals which is live or living on the body surface, that is called ectoparasite. We have also discussed the phylum Platyhelminthes about the Fasciola hepatica. Fasciola hepatica considered as a endoparasitic. Okay, but here these cyclostomes, they are considered as a ectoparasite, and where it lives on the some fishes. Okay, they have elongated body, so their body is the elongated, you can see. Okay, and they have the 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits, and these gill slits involves in the respiration phenomenon. Characteristic feature: no jaw and circular mouth. You can read here, they have given cyclostomes have a sucking and circular mouth without jaw. So this is the characteristic feature of the division agnatha and class cyclostomata. Clear? So one thing also, they have the, in case of the fishes, so fishes have the scale. And this scale is the two different types, ctenoid and placoid. But here, in case of this, there is the devoid, means lack of scales, and paired of fins. You've already seen, so fishes have the fins, but here no fins. You will see, so they have appendage little bit, but no paired fins. So here paired fin is the absent. One very important feature of the this agnatha, that means you can say Cyclostomata, class cyclostomata, they show one phenomenon which is known as the migration. Clear? And they show one phenomenon which is known as the migration. And migration, you know, the search of food or the movement of one place to another place for search of food or reproduction. So this phenomenon is known as the migration. So here it show also one phenomenon which is known as the migration. Before migration, I am going to discuss. I am trying to give one concept. You should to learn this. FOC. FOC means fresh water to ocean. Fresh water to ocean. This is C stands for catadromus. When fishes move from fresh water to ocean, this migration is known as the catadromus migration. Clear? So if you have learned, so you can understand. So if you read, cyclostomes are marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. Spawning to fresh water. I had already told migration, the movement from one place to another place for search of food or reproduction. So here for spawning, these fishes are moved from fresh water to sea water. Okay. So it is going from marine to fresh water. It is going from marine to fresh water. After spawning within a few days, they die. They die means parent die. Okay, parent die, and their larva, they have the larva, and larva name is the ammoseed. They have the one larva, and their larva name is the ammoseed. So ammoseed larva, after metamorphosis, they will return to their home. They will return to their home, but during this time, so you don't return to their home. If you return, so police will be. This is the corona time, so you should avoid to come from the home. You should inside the home. Okay. So this type of the migration is known as the anadromous migration. So such type of migration is the anadromous migration. Anadromous, FOC means freshwater to ocean, catadromous, and ocean to fresh, anadromous. Clear? When ocean to fresh migrate, so that is called the anadromous migration. Example, they have given the Petromyzon also known as the lamprey, and another is the Myxine also known as the hagfish. Okay, so I think you are getting freshwater to so freshwater to ocean, that is the catadromous migration. And catadromous migration where found? Catadromous migration found in the angula, that is eel. Okay, you can read here. I have given to learn the migration in the fishes. We have given one trick, force. We have given one trick. You can read force means F stands for freshwater, O stands for ocean, and R stands for migration, and C stands for catadromous. Means when freshwater to ocean, if you are performing fishes performing the migration, so this type of the migration is known as catadromous migration. Where it found? It is found in the eel, angula, that is the North American eel, which show such type of the catadromous migration. Okay. So now we will discuss in the next video, and now your class is going to finish. Okay, and thank you for your patience and cooperation.